I did not grow up in a wealthy family, and neither did my wife. We both paid for almost all of our college education, and we did it the way a lot of our peers did. We worked full-time jobs during the summer to save up money. We worked during the school year 20 to 25 hours a week, and we also took out loans and got grants whenever we could find them. But when Carolyn and I were in college, the interest rate on federally insured Stafford loans was 1% to 2%. And when I went to Congress in 2007, I was shocked to find out that that rate of interest was almost 8%. So I worked very hard to cut that interest rate in half and to give students more bang for the buck when they borrow money from the federal government. Well, as you know, Stella, the president mentioned the minimum wage in his State of the Union address, and one of the first actions I took as a new member of Congress in 2007 was to vote to increase the minimum wage, because I knew that it had not been increased for many years, and it kept many people from keeping up with the rising cost of inflation. And that's why I supported, in addition to raising the minimum wage, a bill that would have kept it at an indexed level to keep up with the cost of inflation. That's why the president has proposed increasing the minimum wage, and that's why I'm going to keep fighting to make sure that the minimum wage reflects the rising cost of living that most Americans face. You know, taking care of our veterans has been a huge priority for me ever since I went to Congress. A year ago, I had the great honor of going to Iwo Jima with 12 World War II veterans who served there with my dad. And my dad's been gone for 32 years, but I know how his service impacted his health and his mental health after he came home. My brother Brian works at the VA hospital in Des Moines, Iowa, and he works with veterans every day. So veterans healthcare funding is a huge priority of mine. And that's why when I served on the Veterans Affairs Committee, and before that time, I have been a huge advocate for making sure that our veterans get all the health care they need, not just the minimum health care that they are provided. We know that wounded warriors coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan sometimes bring a lifetime of medical and psychological care needs with them. That's why I have introduced legislation in every Congress called the True Cost of the War Amendment that requires the Pentagon and their accountants to itemize how much we are going to have to spend over the lifetime of our wounded warriors and returning veterans to take care of their basic health care needs. No one ever takes the time to explain to the American people how much we're going to spend to take care of people who have multiple prosthetic devices, who have closed head injuries, who have post-traumatic stress disorder, and the other signature wounds of these wars. That doesn't even take into account some of the environmental illnesses that our veterans come home with that create lifetime medical challenges. So my attitude is they deserve everything that we have promised them and more, because we know that one of the biggest problems we have in our healthcare spending right now is the rising cost of chronic disease. A lot of that caused by obesity and other related issues. So if we equip our veterans with the tools so that they can be active and restore them to the greatest level of functioning we can, we will actually save money over their lifetime. But we have to be open and honest about what those upfront costs are, especially at a time of budget challenges where we look at how individual programs are impacted by the choices we make.